welcome back to the channel. I'm Bruce Simpson. This is RC Model Reviews, where I review model products, flying models usually, and this is the not so weekly news, which I publish on a very strict schedule of every now and then. So this is another one, and what I'm going to talk about today. Well, you've seen I put some videos up regarding the DJI digital FPV system. The last one I put up was about its analog capabilities, using it with conventional 5.8 gigahertz video receivers. Now, I got an email from DJI in America. Yes, the real DJI in America emailed me and said, "We saw your video." So I'm thinking, great, there's another 1 cent in the bank. But they said, we've taken on board some of the points you raised in respect to the way, the analog side of things work. So hey, this is really good news, because it means they may change it. They may improve it to the point where I'd be happy to say this set of video goggles is worth buying, even if you don't intend to use the digital system, because they are a kick-ass set of goggles. They really are. As for the reasons that I've explained, I would use those in preference over anything else that I've got at the moment if there weren't those few limitations that make them just a little bit too cumbersome. So yeah, that's great. So I appreciate DJI touching base. Also, it means I've got a point of contact if I've got questions, because I'm still doing some tests and review stuff on that set of digital FPV gear. It has to go back real soon, unfortunately, damn it. So I'm hoping, and the weather is crap. Just to give you an idea, we live in a part of the world called the Roaring 40s. Why is it called the Roaring 40s? Because at this time of the year, we have the spring weather system set, and you've heard of the equinoctial gales. Well, they start early here. And we have, in the north of the country, we have anticyclonic wind patterns which go like this. And down the bottom, we have cyclonic wind patterns which go like this. Now you try doing that. That's like rubbing your stomach and patting your head. So where these things rotate, where they converge here, which is right where I live, we've got this really strong westerly wind driven by the tightly packed isobars between the high pressure and the low pressure. So at the moment, it's blowing 30 kilometers an hour. You can't do much out there with flying and testing stuff. It's just, it's like, and of course it's raining most of the time. Tomorrow, heavy rain again. It rained all morning. It's only just a bit stopped raining now. I've just dashed out here to do this video. So yeah, the prevailing weather is against us, but I'm going to try and get in all the tests that I wanted to do before the system has to go back. Hey, DJI, you could always send me one so that I can continue testing it. But no, it has to go back. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not looking for freebies, but I wouldn't mind one. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try and get that done at a pretty tight schedule. Hopefully this weekend there'll be some windows of opportunity, but the winds again are predicted 35 kilometers an hour. So it won't be flight tests, but I'll be doing some of the, even outdoor tests when it's raining. It's not much fun. Anyway, that's enough about that. I want to talk a little bit about the Fatshark product. Is it Frost? They're doing an HD system as well, which is going to be very interesting. And the rumour, only a rumour, not confirmed, is that they have gone back to the drawing board a little bit with this product. Now, there was all sorts of rumours it was going to come out soon and it was going to be the best thing since sliced bread. But I have a feeling that if Fatshark are smart, which they are smart, they make really good products, right? I suspect they've had a look at the DJI system and said, this is pretty damn good, actually. Woo, that's it functions really well. You can't criticise it very much, apart from obviously if you're a hardcore racer or a really hardcore freestyler. For everyone else, it's got some really massive benefits. And they may have thought, well, our product is as good as that, but it's no good bringing out a product that's as good as your competitor, because you'll only ever get half the market share. What you've got to do in business is bring out a product that's better, that you can say there is this feature or this benefit or this advantage over our competitor. So they've probably taken it back to the drawing board to add a bit of sizzle, add a bit of featureness, add some extra, make it better in some way, so that when they roll it out, which I think probably won't be until the end of the year based on what I've heard, when they actually roll it out, they can say it's better than DJI. And they can say it with a straight face. So we'll see what happens. Now, I don't have a line of communication with Fatshark at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm only, as I say, working on rumours here. But Fatshark are working, it's actually a collaboration between Fatshark and a couple of other companies. One of them is Analog Devices. Now, they're one of the world's biggest semiconductor manufacturers. Sometimes niche markets, but they do a whole lot of things like analog to digital converters and things, which is right up the alley of digital video. So I think they've got the expertise, they've got the ability to produce custom chips, which are going to be pretty necessary, and that's how DJI have managed to produce their system. They can spin what's called custom silicon. They can make a chip that's specially designed just to do this. Instead of having to use half a dozen or a dozen other chips and repurpose them, they can make one chip that does the whole job. It means it's smaller, it's lighter, it's more reliable, and it's cheaper to manufacture. So Fatshark are probably working with Analog Devices to do the same thing. So it'll be a really good battle. I'm so keen to see how these two systems shape up side by side. So I will have to beg, steal or borrow a Fatshark Frost unit and beg, steal or borrow a DJI unit to do a shootout from the perspective of not perhaps the hardcore flippity-floppity freestylers and racers, but people like you and me. People like you and me who also spend money on FPV gear. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And while on the subject of FPV, of course, I'm out here today also doing my How It Works series of videos on analog and digital FPV. Now each has got its strengths, its weaknesses, but if you know exactly how it is that the picture gets from the lens of the camera to the lens of your eye, if you know the technology behind that, you're in a much better position to more effectively utilize that technology and take advantage of the strengths of each system and mitigate the weaknesses of each system. So that's my plan. Now, this is going to be a bit different to some of the other technology videos I've done before. I'm relying a little bit more on computer effects, so it's taking a bit longer. The whiteboard, yeah, there's whiteboard stuff, there's bench stuff, but there's also some computer effects just to make things a little more easily explained, because it can be quite a complicated topic to try and convey in terms that anyone, perhaps except a politician, can understand. So bear with me, that will be out in a couple of weeks. A lot of editing, a lot of production, a lot of VFX work required to make that video, but it's going to be essential watching if you fly FPV and you want to know how to get the most out of your gear. And now a tale of woe. A tale of woe. Reviewer's curse strikes again. Well, not really a reviewer's curse. My favourite little quad is the X-Hover MXP, I think it's a 200 or something. You know, you've seen it, I've used it a lot of times. It has a RunCam split on board, and I've loved the RunCam split. It means I can take a quad without having to worry about charging the batteries in my RunCam 5 or whatever, or my GoPro. I can take a quad with a few lipos in my backpack and go and fly it. I get good video in the goggles, and I get HD recording automatically from the split. Brilliant, fantastic, love it to bits. I've got so many hours on that system, and it's proven now since I fixed a few little things up, 100% reliable, and the video is great. You've seen my videos on XJet where I'm flying through clouds and I fly through trees, and I get some really good stunning footage, but to be honest, HD is a little bit pedestrian these days. 2.7K, 1440, 4K, no, the split doesn't do any of that. So I've been thinking I want to build a new miniquad. I suppose you call it a miniquad, wouldn't you? And when Geekbuying.com contacted me and said, hey, we've got this new product on our shelves, it's called the Hawkeye Firefly 4K split. Would you like to review it? I thought, hey, yeah, because that sounds like a kick-ass product. So I said, yeah, send me one, I'll review it. And true to their word, they sent me one. And I put it on the bench last Saturday. It was bucketing down with rain outside and the wind was blowing, but I wanted to put this thing in the MXP 200 and go to 4K. So I reviewed it, and all looked pretty good. I found one design defect. It was a small defect, but and it was easily remedied, but it was a defect. And I pointed out in the review that you should do this to mitigate the risk of this defect. But I didn't do it myself, so I paid the price. This thing was working perfectly well. I took the quad outside, put it on the ground, and goggles, everything's working fine. I thought I'll just change the video resolution, and that's where the review ends. It stopped working for the reason that this little design flaw came and bit me on the ass. Now, to their credit, Geekbuying.com have said, well, we'll send you another one so you can finish your review. Fantastic. I mean, that's great. I mean, I don't shill for companies or products, but I do think that if a company supports RC model reviews, you guys should take a little bit of time to see if you can support that company. So Geekbuying.com, I haven't bought anything off them myself, but the fact that they're going to send a replacement straight away speaks to customer support. Sounds, if that's the only experience I've got with customer support, I'd say it's great. So go to their website. I put a link in the description of this video. You go and have a look for yourself, see what they're selling, see what the prices are. If there's something that takes your fancy, buy it, If there's not, well, don't. So there you go. No affiliate links. It's just a link that you can follow. And when that second product arrives, I will fix the problem before as soon as I take it out of the box, and then I will complete the review. But if you want to see the review to date, because if you're thinking of buying one of these cameras, and if you want to see what the footage looks like, go to Andrew Newton's channel. I'll put a link in the description of this channel. Always like to point you to other people that are doing a good job doing what I do. And so go to Andrew Newton's. You'll see that he reviews it, and he shows you the aerial footage. I review it, but I can't show you the aerial footage because it stopped working before we got to that point, and now it won't turn on. So if you want to see what I discovered in terms of a design defect, so that if you're going to buy one, you don't end up with the same problem, then in the comments below say, yes, please show us the Hawkeye review that you've done so far, and I will put it up. And you can see what you think of it. So yeah, it was a wasted, well, it wasn't a wasted day. I did discover a whole lot of stuff, but it was damn cold and there were things that I wish had gone better. At this stage, I want to take a moment to thank my Patreon supporters because as you've seen on most of my videos recently that are over 5 minutes or so along the bottom here, it's only due to the contributions made by my Patreon supporters that I don't run mid-roll ads in my videos like everybody else does. I mean, it's the only way to make money on YouTube these days is to run mid-rolls. I saw a video where someone said by putting mid-rolls in, they increased the revenue generated by their videos by 3 times. 3 times. But I hate mid-rolls, don't you? Do you hate them? I hate them. They're terrible. They interrupt a video right in the wrong place. So as long as my Patreon supporters keep supporting me, you will never see a mid-roll in any of my videos. Doesn't matter how long they are. You just have to sit through one at the beginning, and I don't know, sometimes I put one on the end, but nothing in the middle. Just, that's it. Thank you, Patreon supporters. Everybody that watches these videos probably appreciates you, not just me. All right. Now, moving on, what am I doing out here again today? Well, I've got the SpeedyBee. They sent a miniquad for me to build and review. I'm going to do that. And I think Mario from RCSchim has already reviewed that product. So if you want to see what he thinks of it, you can go to Mario's video and I'll put a link to that in the description of this channel. Because again, I like pointing you at other sources of information. I'm not saying I'm the only good reviewer on the interwebs. There are plenty of them now and I'd like you to be aware of them. And when you're buying a product, you want as much information as you can get. So look at all the reviews you can find and then come back to me and see what I say. So anyway, go and look at Mario's. I'm surprised actually, Mario has a really good channel, RCSchim. He deserves more subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to him, go and subscribe. Go on, give him make his day. Go and subscribe to his channel. He has some really good stuff. Look through his back catalogue. There's some good videos there. It's really good. I enjoy watching his videos. And also, while I'm waiting for the wind to finish, there's the Outlaw 250. Now, I've decided I'm going to put the plans up. I'll do a PDF or something and put the plans up because the build video is just taking forever. I'm never happy with it. And a good friend of mine, Neil, is actually doing some Fusion 360 AutoCAD stuff, which is going to look really cool for the video. The build video hasn't finished that. You just got to make a little change, I think. But yeah, so in the meantime, I will put the plans up. If you know how to build foam board planes, well, the plans are all you need. You don't need me showing you step by step. But I'll put the plans up for those of you who want to build it and fly it without having to go through the build video. You can do that. So go to the community tab on this channel or my XTech channel. I think I'll put it on both, but in case I forget, check both. The community tab, if you go to the channel page, you'll see some little tabs with videos and I don't know, I can't remember, but one of them is community. And down there, if I've got something that I want to get out, but it's not worth putting a video up, I'll often put a little comment, or put a post on the community tab, and you can go through there and you can reply and people can, it's like a little forum, but it's pretty basic. So I will put a link to the plans when I get them online. In the community tab, you can go there, download them, build your own Outlaw 250 and enjoy the pleasures of flying below the radar. And that's about it for another Not So Weekly news. I thank you for watching. It's always great when people watch. I'm looking back. I can see what you're doing. I wouldn't do that again if I was you. You get into trouble. And that's it. Nothing else to say. Bye for now.